Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome in. Mm, 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 uh. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. All right, let's get into it. I would like to welcome and thank you guys for tuning into Let's Talk Live, an interactive show between me and you, the viewers. Tonight's discussion is about the importance of being diversely talented as a Black performer. How important do you think it is to be diverse in your talent? That is the question of the night. We're also going to tackle some live entertainment as I show you guys my favorite funny video of the week and so much more on this show. So I want you guys, as always, get comfortable and get ready to chime in as I invite you to Let's Talk Live. Okay? All right, let's do it. So, being that the topic of the show is about being diversely talented, what better host to have on this show than a professional Black performer herself? Ladies and gentlemen, my special guest host for tonight's show is none other than my dear friend, Kynnedi Porter.
Oh, hello,
Kynnedi,
hello,
hello.
hello. How are you,
How are you?
Quentin? I'm good. I'm great. How
I
about
am
you?
wonderful. I'm
That's
wonderful. I'm
good.
so glad to have you here tonight.
Yes, thank you so much for asking me. I would love this. I can't wait. Yes,
Well, you know what, Kennedy? Let's dive right on into it. Let's not
let's
waste
do it.
any more time. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go right on into it. Let's get some live topics going. Boom. All right, Kennedy. So I think starting out, it's very important with the show as with the topic that we have. I think it's very important that we first talk about what is talent and let's talk about what is diversity. So I jotted down in my notes that talent is a natural aptitude of skill that emerges effortlessly, and diverse or diversity, a great deal of variety, very different. So, what do
Okay,
you think,
okay.
as far as in your experience, what are ways that us as a race should strive to diversify our talents?
I think speaking on our race in general, it's one of those things where you have to go in with that mindset of being something different or putting yourself into awkward or different situations, just things that are different from what you're usually used to. Um,
Hmm.
you know, I think it's definitely, as much as you become like diverse and in your talent, it opens you up to so many more opportunities that you have would never have even thought that you could even be placed into because you have
Right.
opened up your talents diversely and that you've strived to be like be able to be diverse when you go into these different opportunities. um I know for me it's been several times, with being like sometimes I'm typecast into different kinds of roles all the time. Sometimes I always play the mean roles, the sassy roles, and all those things like that. But I had to sit back and think, like, sometimes it gets tiring playing those same roles over and over again and it starts to wear down on
Right.
you. And so I had to really sit back and think, is this the type of, role or, character I want to be placed in my entire career? And I decided that's not what I wanted for myself. So I had to like
Mhm.
get down in my studies, do some character development, try to figure out how to diversify my talent so I wouldn't continue to get placed in the same type of roles. And so I think that's definitely where I stand with that. It's just always just having to place yourself in uncomfortable positions, like things you have never, like I said, never have even tried to imagine you could do, roles you could play, um, activities, whatever it is. Like you have to put in the work to make yourself want to be able to be in those new opportunities that it can give you.
Okay. Okay. Um. So what I want people to understand when we specify as a Black performer, I want them
Hmm.
to understand that what I feel that we mean is, I think a lot of times in our race and probably in other races as well, but I definitely feel in our race we get so accustomed to one genre, one
Yep.
way, one little role. This works for me, so I'm gonna stick to
Yep.
it. One genre of music, I'm gonna keep singing this. I'm gonna keep doing it this way because this works. This will stick. And I think we forget how much versatility plays into being a world-renowned household name. Like you want to
Mhm.
be able to switch it up. You want to be able to, even if it's not your judge. Ken, I wonder, do you remember this? You actually played a role in me diversifying myself.
Really?
Back when I really started, yes, back when I really started acting and getting into theater and all that good stuff, you put me on. We did The Little Mermaid Junior,
Mhm.
and that was very different for me. It that was very different for me. That was very like it was so much out of my comfort zone because I'm so used to just learning lines and
Yep.
acting. But I had to learn lines. I had to be placed. I had to
The
learn
dancing.
dances. I
Yeah.
had to sing. I was like, whoa. I had to get in
It's different.
costume.
Yeah.
I had fun, but it was never something that I would have went out on if you didn't push me and tell me, "Come on, like you're great for this. Come and audition for this." Because like all it's gonna do is teach you more, and you are absolutely
Yep.
right. It definitely taught me
Yes.
so much more.
I'm so glad you
Thank
did
you
that
for
too. I
that.
was gonna bring, yeah, of
Thank you for
course, I
that.
was gonna bring that up because I was like, you are built for it, honestly, and I'm so glad you stepped out of that box. And like going back to what I was saying, you have to put yourself in those uncomfortable positions to be able to push you to see that you can be in different spaces like that. You can be in different opportunities. So I'm so glad that you did that
Yeah,
and you listened because hey,
I did.
you
I was
know,
uncomfortable at first, but I did.
but
I
yes.
did. So I just wanted to make sure we make that clear.
Hmm.
So, being that that's the case, do you feel like that we as a race are not diverse by choice, or is it because we aren't allowed in certain rooms or arenas of different genres or different things, different varieties?
I definitely think in some cases, like playing both sides within
Hmm.
ourselves. I think sometimes, like you said, we get so comfortable with learn like being as one genre, like genre music, or one style of this or that. And sometimes we do push ourselves into a corner where we don't allow ourselves to want to be invited into those spaces sometimes because we're so
Hmm.
reserved and like so comfortable with what we are doing. So I
Yeah.
definitely think us as a race, we like a black people, we sometimes we do
Sometimes.
kind of shut off
Hmm.
from the rest of the other opportunities we could have. But in the same breath, sometimes we aren't even allowed to even believe or think that we could be in these other spaces. So
Yeah.
some within the performance aspect, you may not even get considered for a role or something, or a character or something like that, or considered for a show because they just don't even, they overlook us. We, along
Hmm.
with us pushing back sometimes, with them even not even thinking that we're capable of doing whatever it is. It kind of plays, and it's a balance. It kind of balances itself out.
Right.
So I definitely think it's sometimes we don't diversify ourselves. Just sometimes kind of like nature, going back 400 years in history. We've been pushed away so much, pushed away so
Hmm.
much. It's kind of hard for us to not push ourselves away because that's what we've been faced with all of our lives. And so I definitely think that in that case with the black community, we sometimes do that, but also they don't let us in. They don't let us in. So in those type of cases, for me, it's always the keep pressing the issue, keep pressing the issue, keep pushing, because at that point they'll see you're interested, and at some point they're going to listen and they're going to see
Hmm.
what you have to offer. So I definitely
Right.
think both sides, play into being diverse in those type of spaces.
Okay. I want to dig a little bit into your experience as a performer. Um, I want to know, I want to ask you the question of the show. How important do you think it is in your talents? Because I know early off you sing, you dance, you did it all. And how much do you think being in these different arena of things and going to school for it and doing going for Broadway and doing a lot of
Mhm.
musicals and musical theaters and summer camps, how do you think that that has played into your growth?
So for me, I thought about this little example while you're speaking. Um, so around this, so for covering my experience first. My first professional gig, and in the acting world or Broadway world, theater world, when you can label yourself as a professional actress or actor once you start getting paid and signing contracts for your work. So around
Mhm.
my first professional gig, which established me to be a professional actress, was in 2018, I think, with Red Mountain Theater Company up in Birmingham, and that was The Color Purple. So it was such a fun show. But so I started there, and so working my way through each summer to different theaters, I kind of built this. I, I'm trying to say I kind of built this wall up as, the set what I was talking about earlier, I'm stuck in this one position, I'm stuck in this one role. But I was like, okay, I'm not
Mhm.
doing this anymore. If I'm taking this seriously, I'm going to school for it, I have to branch out. So around July last year, I was blessed with the opportunity to be in final callbacks for the Color Purple National Tour in New York. So
Mhm.
it was three of us. It was three of us, and we were up for the role of Nettie. And me, like I said, my resume is filled with the mean girls, the sassy, all that kind of
Mhm.
stuff. And I thought about, I'm like, okay, I got this, I got this. But I thought about it, I'm like, Nettie, if you know the color purple, Nettie is not the sassy, mean type. She's not that character. So I had to
Mhm.
reboot and think about all the training I had and all the stuff that I did before in my mind, thinking this is what I want. So though it's going to be challenging for me, I'm going to have to buckle down and figure out how to ace this. I didn't end up getting it, which is okay because that's a part of the experience.
Right.
But I definitely had to go into the audition room in my preparation, thinking this isn't this what I'm used to. So I have to what you're talking about, genres of music within the Black community, or sticking to one area of our comfortability. And so
Mhm.
Nettie, if you've seen the musical, if you haven't, her stuff is very not, I hate to say this, but not the typical Black woman singing type roles. She's very light and sweet and airy. So I had to reboot and think, I have to do this. This is what I have to do. So I thought about all the training I had. I'm like, okay, focus in. You know how to do this. You've trained yourself for this. You thought back at a very young age about what kind of roles and what kind of career you want to have. So I had that mindset, it helped my diversity come, like, even get me to that point. I wouldn't even gotten to that point for it to be three of us if I hadn't have been diverse, you know learning and training to be able to prepare for the role. And it got me to the top three. So with my experience, that helped me being diverse. It helped me a lot. I think that's pretty much how I come at it nowadays. I take that experience and think, okay, I did this. I got so close. My efforts that I made to make sure my talents were diverse got me to that point and get me so much further.
Right. Okay.
So yeah, that's a little bit about my experience with it, if that makes any sense.
It does. It does. Um, and guys, if you have any questions, or if you have any, any questions you want to ask Kennedy specifically, or do you want to throw out there to tag along to this topic, please post your questions. They we'll pop them up on the screen. Please post your questions. Please post your opinions. We want to talk to you. This is an interactive show, so please, feel free to chime in. We encourage it, just to let you guys know.
Yes, yes, I love
Um,
questions.
I do want to pinpoint something. Um, China and Mcclain. Many people may know her from her rise in House of Pain with Tyler Perry. She spent years on Disney Channel and help me, Kennedy. What was it called?
She's in Black Lightning right now, I think.
She's in Black Lightning right now. Um, what was the show that she had? Did she have a show by herself?
Mm,
We
I
won't go
remember.
into that. It's okay. It's
Okay.
okay. We didn't forget. But she has I think she is a person who we can definitely say very diverse in her talents. You've seen her here, you've seen her there. You've seen her in a lot of places. We're gonna put that back up there in just a second, Caitlin. I want to show this video real quick. China and Mcclain posted a video on her Instagram. And I cut a little snippet of it to show to you. She was talking about the Black experience in Hollywood. And she was talking about how to make sure that when you're dealing with people, that you pull out their culture instead of just pressing your own agenda as a
Mhm.
writer or as a creator, and making sure you hear the culture of the not of the people that you are trying to portray. So if we can cue that video real quick of China, and let's check this out real quick.
But I've experienced that a lot. And I want to say real quick too, to people of color that want to enter this industry, and it's your goal to be a creator of content in entertainment, I would say to create, and more importantly, to be responsible with it. Because we want to be seen. We want people to know that we're there because we exist. People of color exist. But we also want to be seen in a way that makes us look good, in a way that makes us look strong, because that's who we are. We all come from different walks of life, and I want to see different walks of life on screen. I want to see that. I want to see it all because it exists. And there is too much money being put into the entertainment industry to just show one facet of life. But we have to be responsible, all of us. So I would encourage all of you of color that are trying to enter this industry to create and to be responsible. Build a foundation of integrity with your projects. We need that. We need more of that.
So, Kennedy, what do you think about what China was saying?
I'm totally behind her 100%. Um, for me for me personally, I am trying to step into the creator role with my talents. I'm trying to diversify my talents. Trying to get into something that's a
Mhm.
little bit uncomfortable for me. So I definitely get what she's saying. We have to be responsible for it. And with the integrity. Now that really got me for real because sometimes we want, like she said, we want to be seen. So sometimes if we don't put our content out there, not saying it should
Mhm.
just be left totally up to us to be exposed to the rest of the environment, but sometimes we don't put our content out there, it doesn't get seen. So then again, we're sitting here back, thinking, wow, it's not being received well, it's not being, accepted. But we have to be responsible for it and make sure it's getting the exposure that we want it to get, because and then doing it the right way. It's all
Right.
about how you approach it. You have to, like you say, you have to be responsible for the things you create because nobody else is going to be responsible for it but you. So
And I
and the
think with
integrity.
all that's going on in the world today, Kennedy, I think this plays along into what the topic for the show next week will be. I think our media is big. Media
Hmm.
and the arts, that is big. That is where most of people
Yep.
build and gauge their understanding of culture, of a race. Of That's where we really started watching and listening and seeing movies, seeing videos.
Yep.
That's where a lot of things started. And I think being of the black race, African American race, however you want to say it, we are the start of how people see us.
Yep.
We are we set the tone of how we want people to see us. We set the tone to how we want to be represented. It's just as if in our daily walks of life, me
Hmm.
as an individual, as Clinton Hare, how I carry myself, how people see me, how people see me treat people, how people see me interact with people. That is what they take of me. That's the knowledge of me that they're going to have. That's the knowledge of me that they're going to understand. That is the me that they are going to tell other people about. So if
Yep.
we as a race put more media out that empowers our culture, that empowers being black, that makes the black image look like a wonderful image as it is, I think it's not going to make everything perfect, but I think it would empower us in such a way that when you see us, you don't see
Hmm.
the bigotry, and you don't see the
Yep.
the projects and all the ghettos and all
Hmm.
the fighting and the violence and all the
The
things that,
videos, the videos, the
yeah, all the
videos.
things
Hmm.
that has been um attached to being black. Being
Yep.
black can in the media can sometimes be pictured as such an ugly thing. And I think that's why it's so important for people it is so many talented black people. It's so many talented black people that are watching this show right now. I see the comments
Hmm.
as they pop up. As being black and talented and having platforms as we all do, it is so important to use those platforms to show how wonderful
Yep.
our race really is. And that's
Yep.
what this show is really about. Making sure that we as a race understand that we depict how they see us. And if
Yep.
we set out and play into the image that they want to portray of us, we play into
It's no
the
hope.
ploy that
Yep.
they have. We don't
Yep.
give it hope. We don't give it the thrive. And I love being black. And I want
Right.
people to see us and see I love being black. I don't want
Yep.
them to think I'd be like, there go them.
Yeah.
You know, I want that.
Yeah.
Can I see a question for you? It says the black image and experiences have been controlled and manipulated by white/Jews in entertainment. Is it time for rebranding of black culture? If so, how?
I think, let me read it one more time. Okay. I think she is definitely correct. They have been controlling our, this hit me right here because this is what I've been trying to do within my spaces.
Okay.
Um, I I think it is definitely time for a rebranding of black culture. And I
Hmm.
think within my era right now, that's reclaiming our stories and reclaiming our experiences as our own and trying to change those, like you said, changing it's how we are viewed by everyone else. It's the
Yeah.
rebranding of how we as a people move. And I definitely think that once we start reclaiming our stories and reclaiming our experiences and letting them be known and heard and authorizing change for some of those, we
Hmm.
can take the world by storm.
Right.
Um, let me make sure I answer the other part of the question. Yeah, but yeah, in all, it's definitely a time for a rebranding. It's time to reclaim our time and take back everything that is ours and try to give it a positive spin to try to make sure it doesn't get switched up and changed over to what it is now. And it will
Hmm.
take it's a generational thing, definitely. So it's gonna take us, it's gonna take the younger ones to reclaim all of that, to rebrand it for everyone. We're gonna have to do it ourselves. So we gotta make sure we don't let anyone else rebrand it but us. So yes.
I definitely agree. I definitely agree. Um, I definitely agree. Because it's time. It's time
Hmm.
to. It's
Been
time
time.
to start to break some of these chains that are continuing to go on. I think it's important that we all love the black aesthetic.
Yep.
Not absolutely, not just what we feel is acceptable. Absolutely. Um,
Hmm. Yep.
it starts with us. I know a lot of
Yep.
people think, oh, that's just what that's just how it is. That's all. But that's not all it is. I have seen so many, and I don't mean to be offensive to any other race or anybody else that is watching because I love all people. But I have seen so many different cultures. You've seen them do so many different things. I've seen white people play a ghetto role. I've seen them play the rich snobby role. I've seen them play
Hmm.
all type of things. And we are getting to a place where black people are taking on more of those different type of roles. You see creators taking on those type of trying to show different aspects of the black aesthetic, like Issa Rae. Um,
Hmm.
I think
It's a great example.
Issa Rae is a wonderful example. I
Hmm.
really love her work, and I think she really shows our culture in a different way
Yep.
that is still us, but so much more poised and
Yep.
um, it just has a better
It's just
taste to it,
clean.
if
It's
that
just
makes
clean. Yeah, it's
sense.
just clean. Yeah,
Clean,
it's just
yeah,
clean.
it's clean.
Yeah, but
Um,
still true. Still true. Clean but true.
Still
Yeah.
very true. And I think it's important. I think we as talented people, as performers with platforms, and um, and with our reach, with our audiences, I think it's time to bridge that gap between what we have let them become accustomed to and
Hmm.
what
Yep.
really is, because it's not just what is always out there. Like, and then even like networks like BET and stuff, I really wish BET would. I like BET, but I
Yeah.
really wish BET would give us more than just
More
that
us. Yeah.
same old. They put
Hmm.
out a certain. I
Yep.
feel like that network puts out a certain
A
narrative of
certain
black people.
stereotype. Yeah, it's like a
Yeah,
stereotype. Yeah, it plays to
we're
all the
so much
stereotypes.
richer. We're so
Yeah.
much richer. Um, diversity, like we said, diversity is a great deal of variety. So in dealing with this topic, we want to make sure that the message that is being put, that we have so much more to our race than the
Yep.
stereotypes that have been repeatedly shown.
Yes.
And we as performers need to start to put out content that reflects the beautiful and
Hmm.
wonderful aspects of Black people that need to be shined. Black people are wonderful people. If I haven't
And
said it
because
enough,
and to add on to that, once we start doing that, then these other people, whoever they may be, are gonna have no other choice but to start. Once we like overcome with so much like material about what you're talking about, like so much positive material, they're gonna have
yeah,
no choice but to see us in
but to,
that light. I don't
but to
care what
see
type
us,
of, yeah, like I don't care what experience they didn't had. Once we start reclaiming everything and putting out positive, they have no choice. So
yeah.
I just want to add that in.
Yes, and like I said, I love that we've taken our conversation right into this area because it plays into the topic of next week when we're dealing with some of the racism and things that goes on. But
Hmm.
it is so important. I think I speak for me and Kennedy both when we say the point of our topic of tonight is we want to make sure that Black performers know that we can be diverse. We
Yep.
can be on all types of varieties and in all genres, and we can be seen in different lights in different respects. We don't always have to play the angry Black woman,
Nope.
the violent Black man that went to jail and then came out
Hmm.
and made his life worth something. Clint Kennan, what is the responsibility of hip hop artists in terms of misogynistic and the violent music in the wake of Black Lives Matter? Is it hypocritical to demand change and continue to support artists who use the N word, sexual explicitness, and violence?
Mm.
Um, I do believe that hip hop artists are going to have to. Everybody want to rap about. Excuse me, y'all. But everybody want to rap about bitches and hoes and
Hmm.
N word this and
Money,
this
money,
did
this
that and
and
I got
robbing
the
this and
bands, I got the
stealing.
money. We
Yep.
have got to stop it. And we make it no better because we support it every time it comes out. We
Yep.
play it loud, we play it proud, we sing
Guilty,
it
guilty, guilty,
everywhere. We
guilty.
we we play a part into that because we amplify
And that
it. And
also, oh, sorry, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry.
no, you go ahead. You go ahead.
That also plays into the comfortability. Like we go back to
Mm-hmm.
what we know. And it's I'm just like I say, I'm really guilty of it. I love music in general, so I appreciate all kinds of music. So it is definitely time for us listeners. Like I said, media. It's all one big circle. Media. It's up to us to start holding these people accountable for when it's just too much. They hold them accountable for what the type of content they're putting out, and I guarantee you they'll change it real quick if people
Yeah.
start getting on them, or stop listening. It's just when everyone's so comfortable, so used to always going back to that style. It's time to get out of that, because if we want to, impose that change, we want. It's not gonna happen if we continue to like,
No.
in word, bees and hoes and all that. It's not gonna happen. So
No.
it's gonna have to start with the people who feed them, which are the
Mm-hmm.
common people.
Which is
It's
us,
gonna have to start
the
with us.
consumer.
It's gonna
It
have to
starts with
start with
us.
us. Yeah.
And just like last week's episode was about change, and
Hmm.
change takes time to, it's a process to changing things. And
Yeah.
I think as a race, we're going to have more people who are dedicated to
Hmm.
taking action and being a part of that rebranding. Just like we
Yep.
band together and we protest and we come together to when as far as what's going on in the world, we come together to get justice for our brothers and sisters who are losing their lives senselessly over
Hmm.
nothing. We are
Nothing.
going to have to continue to band together just like that to change the narratives of things across our race in all aspects. And I
Yep.
think that's just it in a nutshell. So
I
guys,
second everything.
if you have any more questions or you guys want to dig into that topic a little bit more, we're going to try to leave room at the end of the show to take a few questions. But right now, let's make it a little bit lighter. Kynnedi, while I have you here, I would really like to show you my favorite funny video of the week and get your feedback on it. So why don't we
Let's see
switch
it.
gears a little bit and let's move into some live entertainment.
Yay.
Every week, you guys know I do a favorite funny video of the week. And this week is going to be no different. So, Kynnedi, I am so ready to show you this video. It is a very
I'm
quick video.
excited.
But this video, as you guys know, a lot of churches have closed, well, pretty much all churches have closed down for a period of time because of the coronavirus. And a lot of churches have taken to virtual services and all that good stuff. Well, now a lot of churches are starting to do a drive-up service. This
Okay.
particular church was doing a drive-up service, and I guess they had a someone to pop up and do some, I guess we'll say, secular dancing while they were doing their devotion. Well, this certain comedian who we love on this show by the name of Kevin Johnson Jr. remixed the
Ah,
video just a little bit, and I think it is hilarious. Let's pull that video up.
Time I didn't have a dime. Hey, baby. Hey, hey, hey! We ain't in no nightclub now. We ain't in no nightclub. We have in church. You cut out that nasty dancing.
I'm weak. I'm guilty. I'm just guilty
Kynnedi, you're
tonight.
guilty.
Don't let a good Kirk Franklin bop or something come on, because I'm gonna be up there, hitting the wall. I'm gonna be up here nay like I can't help it. I feel him. I can't help it. I can't help it. It just be too good.
Kenny,
I'm weak.
I'm sure my best friend is tuned in. When that song, what is the song by Fred Hammond? They that wait on the Lord. When
Oh,
he get,
that
let me see you break it down. My
down
friend
for me.
gyrate. I'm
Not
sorry, Tyra.
gyrate.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Tyra. I told him. My friend will gyrate.
Ooh,
My
not
friend will gyrate.
not gyrate.
You know, y'all, certain gospel songs get you in your hip and
They
your
just
leg
sound
and your
so
back.
good.
You know, Kirk Franklin, I had to catch myself listening to Kirk Franklin a lot
No,
because,
he might as well go ahead and switch over to 105.1 the block,
you
because
know, there go Tyra. There go Tyra.
that's all right, baby. That's all right. That's all
That's
right,
all
baby.
right.
You do it. You
You
praise
know
the
what?
Lord.
This is what I think about it. And y'all, don't talk about me too bad in the comment section. You know, they say all things belongs to God, to the Lord,
Mhm.
right? Your twerk is a weapon of praise. I said it.
So once
I said it.
coronavirus over, you finna pop up in wherever your church home is and
So
bust a little twerk two step.
I'm I, I don't know what I'm gonna do when they open the church, Kenny. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Kenny, I'm so ready for All Nations Worship Assembly in Huntsville,
Hallelujah.
Alabama to open their doors. I may
Hallelujah.
roll across the altar when I walk in the building. They're gonna be saying social
Hallelujah.
distance, social distance. I'm just gonna I'm just gonna roll. I'm just gonna roll.
I'm weak at you. I'm
I'm
about to
so
come see
ready.
that. I'm gonna have to come
Hey,
see that.
I am so ready for them. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I may hit a backflip.
Um,
Who knows?
all right, I'll come get you off the floor. I'll come get
I,
you. I got you.
I'm wearing jogging pants and a t-shirt. I'm gonna look like I'm going to work out because
It's
I'm
a
gonna wear that flow
marathon.
out for
It's a
old and new.
marathon.
You hear me? I'm gonna wear it out for
It's,
old and new.
I'm dead. Go
This is
ahead.
this is
I ain't finna
different.
knock your praise. I ain't gonna knock your
Hey,
praise.
I just don't know what I'm doing, Kenny. I ain't had no corona. I ain't been sick.
Praise the Lord.
I ain't stopped working.
Praise
I
the
ain't.
Lord.
Clinton, should women really make it clap for Black Jesus? Men too.
I'm up here to play with y'all. Yeah, not my Jesus. Not my Jesus. I'm weak. Hey.
All I'm saying is, they said that if I couldn't say a word, I just waved my hand. So I should be able to wave my
Wait.
hips too. Just wave your hips.
Ah,
They said come as you are.
hey,
I wanted to be known. I'm manipulating. I'm manipulating these scriptures and these words
I'm weak.
for my
Go
benefit.
ahead. Go ahead, Saint.
But
Go ahead,
listen,
Saint.
let me tell you something, saints. Don't let the church people tell you that you cannot bring your twerk offering into the church. I said it. I said it. Please don't show this to my pastor, Pastor Adrian Davis.
Now
You
you
know
got the
that all
church
makes it
mom.
worse.
What?
What did
What
he
do you
say?
say? What do
Please
you
don't
say?
cancel me.
Please, 2020. Please don't cancel me. Please.
Please don't cancel
Oh,
me. Please. Please. What do the viewers think? Do the viewers, y'all ain't never caught yourself to a good gospel song and you just doing a dance that you probably shouldn't be doing it to it, but you just
make me wanna dance. Hey. Or
oh,
don't let it catch you and you
oh,
say a cuss word. Like, oh, this my hey,
where my water?
I'm being transparent, family.
You
It
telling the
didn't happen
truth
to me.
tonight.
It didn't happen to me. Like, oh, that's my hey.
I got another friend that do that, but I ain't gonna call her out because she may come here and cuss me. So I'm just gonna leave that alone. Now, if
Yeah, go
anybody
ahead.
of our other friends want to say her name in the comment section and our producer put it up there on the screen, I ain't got nothing against that. But
Hey,
I'm leave that alone. I'm leave it alone because I ain't trying to get beat up tonight.
go ahead.
I can't
That
fight.
sounds good.
But yeah, Kennedy, that's in all honesty, I'm really, 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 really ready. You got to see the video of the lady throwing in a circle in church. Jayla, please send that video to me. That just may be a funny video next week.
Hey,
He
hey,
know.
I'll be
Hold on.
tuning
Do
in.
not take Maria coming off. Do not take Maria's coming off. He knows your heart, and if my
Hallelujah.
heart is in the right place, why I twerk?
Mm, hallelujah. I'm behind that one
Oh,
now.
man.
My,
Don't move,
my.
Maria. Coming. I want that to saturate this live right now. He
My,
knows my
my,
heart.
my. You're
He
worthy.
knows
You're
my
worthy,
heart.
Father. Mm.
He knows my heart. It's right here.
I'm so weak.
Right here. He knows my heart.
He just
Maria, that was
playing, Lord. He
perfect.
just playing. He just playing.
He
He
laughed.
ain't gonna.
Don't y'all think, Ken, let me ask you, don't you think God got a sense of humor?
Be laughing like I'm a clown.
I really think he be up there laughing like this fool cleanses. He just don't know when to stop.
And he ain't following my directions. He ain't seen my
Mm.
signs. He ain't prayed enough. He ain't left me alone about it. Mm,
I just
that's
want to
all right.
saturate. Y'all, you think Maria coming saturated the atmosphere enough tonight?
I think it did. I feel it.
Okay,
I
go
feel it.
ahead, producer. We can let Maria rest, but don't let that comment go too far up to the top because we may have to bring that back. He knows my heart. The people are saying that they twerk while they worship God, Kennedy. They really are. I'm seeing the comments right here. It's hashtag twerk for Jesus. Y'all share this live. Share this live. Hashtag twerk for Jesus.
I think
Not
I'm gonna sit this one out.
FOUR number 4. You already
I
shared it,
think I'm
Kennedy,
gonna
so it's
sit.
okay.
I think I'm gonna sit this one out.
If they wanna know what it means, they'll watch the live.
Yep. Okay. I'm behind that. Okay. I get behind that
They
part.
want to
All
know what it
right.
means. They'll watch the live. They will watch the live. You feel me?
Please tune in. Please tune in.
Please tune in. All right, you guys. We are coming up. He turned them up.
Hallelujah. Worthy. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Wait a minute. Don't move that
Ishkatai.
producer.
Ooh, handiable. Handiable. Ooh.
We got another saturated comment, y'all. We got another saturated comment. He turned our mourning into dancing. He didn't say your
Mm.
dancing had to be. He just said dance. I done
He
seen
did.
somebody do the. I seen somebody do the. What this dance is?
The
What
nay
is
nay.
it? I seen somebody do the nay nay in church. I said, "Come on,
That's all
boy.
right. I'm gonna be. I'm
You
gonna be
can't.
woeing when I get in there. I'm gonna hit the woe.
You can't condemn people for
Whoa.
how they praise. Everybody don't know how to.
Cannot. Hey,
That's
and don't
coordination.
and
That's
don't.
coordination. Yeah, one time I shouted so in church. One time I shouted so in church, y'all. Y'all see I wear Apple Watch. Uh, Pastor Carmelo comment saturated enough producer. Y'all see I wear Apple Watch, and if y'all wear Apple Watch, you know the little activity on the
Oh,
watch.
I bet you ran that thing up, boy. I bet that thing
Y'all,
said
my
complete.
watch when the church came down, my watch was ding 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 ding. I had to warn all type of awards on my.
Oh, I feel so accomplished. Ooh. That was
Kid, I
the
had to
Lord
warn
right
all
there.
type
He
of
knew you
awards.
needed it.
I had to make
Mm.
my exercise goal, my stand goal, and my calorie goal
Lord,
before 12 o'clock.
hey, That's exercise and praise. That's a good combination. Hey.
Hello, there you go. I
Mm.
tried to do your little dance and couldn't get. Put Jayla. I've tried to do your little dance and couldn't. You're right about it. It takes coordination. Years of going in, just years of just being
Not
slain.
going in.
Just being slain. Okay. Guys, do you have any more questions about our topic of the day? Anything that you want to ask Kynnedi about her experience as being a professional Black performer? Um, if you have any questions for us, throw them at us real quick as we get ready to close out our third episode of Let's Talk Live.
Mm, mm,
I
mm.
like that. I may have to get in the studio and
Right.
record
In the
that.
stew.
Hey, don't nobody steal my beat. I just copyrighted it. Boom.
Period.
Hmm. Anybody got it? We got any more comments coming up? This great show. Thank you, Miss Winston.
Yay, thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let me look at some of these comments to my right, Kennedy.
Okay.
All right, you guys. I think that is going to be a wrap for tonight's show. I just professional black performer, professional black queen. She is
Thanks, Nazir. Thanks,
all
baby. I
that.
love you.
All right, you guys. We are going to get ready to close out our show for tonight. I want to first make sure that I thank Kennedy for coming on with us tonight and being our
Of
guest
course.
host. Kennedy, I
Of
thank you so much.
course.
I appreciate you for doing this for me. I love you so much. And I
Love
really
you.
hope I speak for the viewers and myself when I say I'm sure we would love to see you back for another episode.
Yes, of course. I'm down. I love it.
We're gonna answer this question and then I'm gonna close out the show. In Hollywood, is there something in the Black culture that you haven't seen represented that you want to see? Hmm,
Hmm.
that is a good question. Hold that question. Hmm.
Can I answer real quick?
Yes, please.
I think one thing that I need to see is I feel like I'll make it quick. Me and my normal life growing up and, how I was raised, I didn't have necessarily the stereotypical TV Black experience they think we always have. So I
Hmm.
kind of want to just see, like, I feel like, what's it, Grownish is kind of doing this type thing, like a regular Black person, if you want to say, non-stereotypical household, whatever, like how they grew up and how it shaped them to whatever, who they're going to be or whatever the character description is going to be. But I just want to see a regular, non-stereotypical Black experience from like a younger person in front of my eyes.
And
And I
earlier
want to
we
see.
highlighted like Issa Rae. We
Hmm.
both think that Issa Rae does a very good job highlighting different aspects of the Black culture without
Yeah.
all of the stereotypical touches of it. I
Yeah.
think Issa Rae's productions are a very good example. Like Insecure, I think that's a very good example of what we
Yeah.
mean. Just showing the Black light in a way that's not so, um, it's not just so bad.
Yeah, so it's just so stereotypical. I just like the word
Yeah.
stereotypical means something kind of negative to me sometimes. I'm just tired of seeing that because that's not true. It's not all true.
Hmm. So that's what I think. Those are some Bailey. All right. Oh, yeah. I peeped the background. Thank you, Jayla. I love it myself.
Looks good.
The
Sharp. It's
one.
sharp.
All right, you guys. Once again, thank you so much, Kennedy, for being on the
Of course.
show. You have been a joy to talk to, and I hope to see you on the show again. So, guys, throw
Yes.
some love at Kennedy. And, Kennedy, we will see you later.
Okay. Bye, y'all. Have a great night.
Bye, Kennedy. All right, you guys. We have come to the end of our time together. Once again, if you have a topic that you would like to see discussed on our show, please send me a message to the Let's Talk Live Facebook page. Please make sure that you're liking our Facebook page. Please make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel for replays of our live shows. And also, I want to highlight to you guys, we on next week's show, We'll be discussing how they see us. And my guest host will be none other than the Dr. Clarence Sutton Jr., and we will be discussing how do we show them how to treat us. So, you guys, please make sure that you are tuned in next Thursday, right here again, June 25th at 8 p.m. for another episode of Let's Talk Live. Also, I will have a special guest appearance from my little brother, Carmelo Hare, as we start the hashtag I Will Breathe campaign. So, you guys, please make sure you're tuned in next week as we tackle that show. Once again, if you want to be a guest on the show or you have a suggestion about who should be a guest on the show, please send me a message on our Let's Talk Live Facebook group or send me an email at keeptalkalive@gmail.com. Once again, that is keeptalkalive@gmail.com. I love you guys. I thank you guys so much for tuning in. Also, very quickly, I want to highlight a few special people who have made this process tonight so easy and so great. I would like to call her my manager and mentor, Miss Valencia Winston, who helps me and mentors me and oversees just about everything that you guys see. I love you so much, Miss Winston, and I appreciate all of your help. My producer, Zakoya Atkins, all the transitions and everything that you see is coming from Miss Zakoya. Zakoya, thank you so much. And my writer of the show, who helps me get these outlines together, who helps me get the topics together, Miss Tara Hollis Clark. You know I got to work with my people. Okay? I thank you guys so much for being on my team, for supporting me, for loving me, and helping me along this journey. You guys are amazing. I could not do this show without you. Guys, if you enjoyed the show, share this for me. Share it. Tag some performers. Tag some artists. Tag everybody. We want to get it out there. We want the world to see it. If you enjoyed it, tag, tag, tag. All right, y'all. This has been another episode of Let's Talk Live. I will see you guys next week. Bye.